Hey guys, it's Miss Tech again. Excuse me. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more help on your activity today because it could prove to be a little frustrating if you don't have some hints. So what we're going to do is on your slide, you're going to notice that there are two slides, both that look the same. Okay, but I want you to hear me when I say this. You're completing one. So I want you to choose to either do the first slide. You notice on mine, I have one. Now on yours, you're going to have two that look very similar. The problems are just different. You're choosing one slide, okay? And you're going to complete it. Now, what I want you to notice is on each slide, you have two angles. So like this yellow one right here is going to be equal to 180 degrees. We know this green angle down here is also equal to 180 degrees, okay? So we know that both of these measurements have to equal 180. We know both of these measurements have to equal 180. Okay, now the pink and the teal colored ones, we know both of these, if I add these two angles together, they have to equal 90. Okay, so you can always check your work. Now, you're going to notice you have 10 different boxes that are blank and you have 10 choices for numbers. You're only going to use them once. So I'm going to tell you the best thing to do. What I would look at is look at your ones place first, because you know for a fact that to equal 180 or 90, those ones are going to have to add together to equal a 10. Okay, so let's look here. If I know this is a 2, to get 10, my ones place over here is going to have to equal 8. Okay, so that takes that out of the equation. I'm not going to have 8 to use. Okay, now let's look at these pink ones. We know our ones place has to equal 10. So if this is a 7, we know to make a 10, we're going to have to use the 3. Okay, again, here's a 9. So that means this ones place is going to have to be a 1. And see how we're kind of eliminating choices. Okay, now if this ones place is a 1, that means this, in order to make 10 ones, this is going to have to be a 9. So do you see how we got rid of these tiles? So now we're not going to look at that part anymore. Okay, now let's look at the ones that we know. Okay, so let's look here. We know the whole thing is 90. Okay, we already know this little part. Look, by figuring out ones is 23. So we have to subtract. If we do 90 minus 23, we would end up, whoopsie. Let's move this up here. Okay, we know 2 10s and 6 10s, that's 8 10s, plus our one more 10, we know this would be equal to 90. So again, that gets rid of that. Now let's look at our other 90-degree angle, because again, we know the whole thing is 90. If we already know that one of those is 49, okay, so 90 minus 49 would give us 41. Okay, so look how easy that was just to figure out those two. Use those hints. Okay, now let's look at what we have left. We may have to do some guessing and checking. Okay, so we know this whole thing is 180 degrees. Well, let's look at what do you think this would be about. Okay, so this right here, we'll look at this. We know this is 23. Well, we know this is going to be a little bit bigger, right? So we may want to guess and check. If this one's 23, this one up here might be 28, right? So again, we know the whole thing's 180. Take away 28, we would get 152. Okay. Oh, it didn't want to drag it for me. Let's try that again. So, and we could even check it. I could add 28 plus 152. We should get 180. Now, again, let's look at what we have left here. Okay. Well, let's look at this angle. I know I couldn't put a 0 here and that would be a 1-degree angle. So I'm pretty sure that's going to look about like a 71-degree angle. And if we add 109 plus 71, we would get 180. Okay, guys, don't let it frustrate you. Remember, I'm just a message or a text away or a Zoom away if you need me. And do your best. I can't wait to see how